Okay, today we're at Savage Gulf, Savage Falls. We're just gonna pick up some scenery on both sides of the rim. Savage Gulf is part of the South Cumberland State Park, so it's been a while since I've been out here. Tons and tons of trails, so we will relive some old memories from back years ago when this place first opened up, and some really nice views. Go ahead first to Savage Falls and we'll pick up some scenery from the north and south loops. Very well used areas, trails are no problems. You'd really have to work hard to get lost around here. Years ago when it first opened, several of my friends, we're talking about a period of over 30 years ago, came out to do the South Loop. Thought it'd be a great idea to cut across and pick up the North Loop as well. Problem is, what started out to be a day hike ended up being about a 20-mile journey, and we finished way after dark, but we weren't prepared for a night hike, and ended up being quite the adventure. Lesson in life is don't lose your sense of adventure. Seems like the older we get, the more cautious we become, but stay adventuresome, but do like the Boy Scouts and be prepared. Do your scenario planning. Don't be adventuresome, but be foolish about it. But it ended up being quite the hike, and we talk about it 35 years later. So basically, plan out your trip, but keep that sense of adventure. The gorge has some really remote sections, and there's some old growth trees still down there. I'll be honest with you, they're hard to get to. Still seeing quite a few hemlock, as I mentioned maybe in an earlier video. A lot of them are beginning to die out. The woolly adelgid infects the tree and they die eventually, so hopefully spraying and science can come up with some alternatives to keep these trees alive. Hasn't rained in about 30 plus days, so the creek is plenty dry. And I hate swinging bridges. far from the falls and a couple overlooks. Pretty little section of trail. Going across the second bridge, and this thing is a little bit okay. This is Savage Falls. The moral of the story is don't come to a waterfall after 35 days of not having any rain. Still beautiful, but a little more spectacular when there's water coming over. Still really nice. Go ahead, get back on the rim trail and make a few pictures of the gorge for you. Can't say the trail's been very pretty. There's been some straight line winds and a lot of devastation. The park is shaped almost like if you've ever seen a turkey foot in the mud, it's a three-pronged wilderness area. We're in the middle prong, but I don't know if you can see way up to the other side, which splits right and left. This is called the North Rim, and just directly across, several little overlooks, that's the South Rim. Back through the trees was the Savage Falls. That wasn't a falls today. Pretty bluff though. The trip from HELL, we started at the park, went along the South Rim. On the other side of that point, we went down a road called Stagecoach Road and went through that crack in the bluff up the side and found the North Rim and came back. And took me several days to recover from that. Not far down is a little section of some old growth timber. A bit hard to get to, but there's some ginormous trees down there. But this is worth the hike right here. A pretty nice view. You can come in any number of directions. We came in from the Highway 111 from Sparta. You can come in the McMinnville side, Beersheba Springs to the Stone Door. It's turning into a backpacker haven if you want to do a couple little short hikes and travel the gorge. It's great for backpacking as well, especially down at the bottom. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Alrighty then, I'll talk to you later.